Okay, welcome everybody to our second Mirasys Insight session. And yeah, I'm Thomas, joined by Udo from Mirasys, and together we're about to plug straight into the core of Mirasys world. So my promise for today is very simple: less marketing talk, more heavy hitting insights. And you will see that we just focused on parts interesting for you. So not the blah, blah, blah of marketing, hard facts you can use everywhere. And so, yeah, we're keeping it short and dive very deep. And so, yeah, let's make it happen. And I pass over to Udo to start with the session of KI, reality, what is
AI.
possible and what is only marketing.
Okay, so it's my part right now. So,
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome everybody to this joint webinar. So I'm really proud. I'm really happy to be back on the stage after I think 2 years. So if you remember, we had this webinars a couple of years ago already during the pandemic situation or pandemic time. So I'm really happy and glad to be back. Yeah, what we want to do today is really, we want to give you an overview. So we don't drill into the deep, honestly, of all the solutions that we have or could provide. It's just giving you an overview and giving you an idea what we can do together with our partners. So the total session will be 45 minutes. So if you have any questions, please put them into the Q&A part of the teams, and we will answer them at the end. There will be a Q&A session at the end. So my plan for today is, so the agenda is, first of all, I would like to talk a little bit about our project experience that we have in AI projects right now. So I know that Andy from Ikuda is also here. I think if I would take him on board, he could tell you for hours what is happening at the customer side. But this is a story for, let's say, another webinar when we take him on board. Today, it's just my experience that I have and to give you an idea how to speak to customer, etc. Then I would like to give you an overview about the Mirasys AI portfolio in general. And out of this portfolio, we have 2 partners on board. This is VCA Technology and Vaidio AI, which have a huge portfolio of AI models, etc. So in that case, give you also an overview what they can do. Then in the next stage, I would go to a demo on our software. So Thomas gave me some topics that we need to take care of. So this is privacy blurring, smart motion search, LPR recognition, facial recognition, and then also object recognition. So I give you an understanding of a short understanding what we can do, and at the end we will have a Q&A session. Yeah, let's start. So when we are talking, Thomas said in the beginning that we don't want to talk in the style of marketing, and this is something that I'm really identifying very often at the customer, and I'm pretty sure you do as well. So everybody is talking about AI today. So out of my experience, if I'm thinking 20 years before when we talked about VCA, video content analytics, it was the same case. Yeah, so we can do everything. We have the best product for you, and you can do whatever you want, etc., etc. This is not the real case. So honestly, when I came to the video business, I think it was in the early 20s, or the early 2000s, then VCA was in everybody's mouth. And at the end, when you started a VCA, video content analytics project, at that stage, it was, let's say, nothing more than identifying moving objects, understanding, okay, how big they are, how fast they're moving, and so to group them into human being, car, truck, etc., etc. When we started the first projects with VCA in that stage, in the early stages, it was very clear, very fast, very clear that we run into really traps at the customer side. So not understanding that they have different conditions on different weather conditions, different conditions overnight, etc., etc. Today, I think the story is repeating. So when customers are coming to us, then they're asking us for special models. Yeah, they're asking us, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Etc. Etc. And it seems to be that they have a clear view of what they want to do, what models they need to do. So from the technical point of view, so they are seeing that cameras, they can recognize this. The cameras, they can recognize persons, a head on a person. They can different between colors, etc. etc. And my first questions always is, because of the experience that I got with different AI projects in my customer base, is what is the business case behind this? And I think this is the most important question that you need to ask. If somebody wants to see aggressive behavior detection, ask them why. If somebody wants to see loitering, ask them why. If somebody wants to differ between trucks and cars, ask him why. Because you are the expert. And you or also our partners, our AI partners, are the experts, and they can understand in a much better way than the customer can understand what models, what rules needs to be done, needs to be developed at the end, or needs to be used to fulfill the customer requirements. So this is the first message that I want to bring to you. Ask the customer why. Understand his environment, understand his landscape that he's driving, camera landscape, etc. And ask him why he wants to do this. What is the purpose of this? The second point is really be careful in what you are promising. So my personal experience, we had one sports club, which was open 24/7. And they wanted to have an identification if somebody is collapsing overnight during the training. So I said, yeah, fall detection is the easiest way to do this. Ha! Yeah, that's true. But fall detection at that stage, in the early stages, was not well trained, let me say in that way. And it was not the right solution for the customer. So when I saw the pictures, when I saw the video footages, and we tried to install the fall detection, we identified that there were people making sit-ups on the ground. And the system was identifying them as fallen person. Yeah. So what is the difference between a collapsed person and a person that is laying on the ground and is preparing his or her sit-ups by, first of all, checking title and getting the best music into the ear? Yeah, and that's the point. That's really the point. What is the difference? Also, we had a case where we needed to identify aggressive behavior. Yeah, on a public space. What is the difference between an aggressive behavior between two persons and playing kids, fast playing kids? And this is exactly that what we need to take into account when we are dealing with AI. Yeah, how well trained is the model behind this? Yeah, so I'm also on customization of a couple of AI projects where we need to take the footage, the video footage from the customer, and train the models first based on this video footage. But maybe he has only 5 video streams or five videos that he can grant to us because of not more cases. So how accurate is the model? So at the end, the second message or the third message is really, if you have customization, then you need to take care that the customer is continuing also delivering false positives, because they will happen for sure. Yeah. And you need to have the video footage to retrain the model, because especially for some cases, you don't have so much videos in your laboratory so that you can retrain the models. And then the last message that I want to give to you, so we have today cameras that could do artificial intelligence in a certain way. They have a certain performance. We have our smartphones who could do AI, and customers are very often comparing this to the data AI that they're seeing in the internet. Yeah, so from Google, from Microsoft, Copilot, etc., etc. Visual-based AI is a complete different story, and it requires a lot of hardware performance if you do it with multiple cameras. And this is also something that the customer is not aware of. He said, my smartphone could do this. They could recognize faces. They could recognize persons. Yeah, of course. But it is only a smartphone. And you have 100 cameras and you do want to do this on 100 cameras? Pah, come on, how many servers do you want to use in that case? And this is very, let's say, aha effect. Then at the customer side, I said, okay, that's more difficult than I recognized before. And then we need to talk to the customer. So again, the customer who wants to use artificial intelligence, it doesn't matter from camera, server-based or whatever, we need to understand why he wants to use it to give them the best solution that he needs to have, and not trusting into what the providers or what we are would pronounce as a marketing message. It needs to be proved at the customer side. So this is my personal message that I'm giving to you right now.
Yeah, so the difference between the world what they're saying to say, oh, okay, can do everything, and the reality, because that's a totally mismatched sometimes.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, anyway, AI is helping us very much. Yeah, and that's the reason why we are using AI in video-based or visual-based AI, and we have in our portfolio, let's say in that way, providers who are delivering AI solutions in a very sophisticated way, very well proven, yeah, very well trained. And also in that case, I was asking Andy, I take you now as an example. I was asking Andy 2 days ago, yeah, if he could do this and this and this, and he said, yeah, this is green, this is yellow, this is red. We cannot do this, but we can train models on that, yeah, or we can develop it. So in that case, this is the fair communication that we need to do, also that we need to have also to the customers at the end, yeah, because if you are failing in one project, you're losing a lot of money, and the customer is losing a lot of money, and you're losing a customer, and you know it's 10 times more cost. More expensive to lose a customer than to keep a customer happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's possible with Mirasys? What can we do?
All right. So first of all, I have a list here of our AI portfolio, and it's not our own. It's also summing up the partners portfolio that we have. First of all, license plate and facial recognition. This is our own development that we have done. We can do it also. We can take it also from Vaidio AI. They have the same. So in that case, you have two possibilities really here. So license plate recognition, for example, is used in a couple of projects right now with an accuracy of 95, 98%, depending on the cameras, etc. But it is really proven. Facial recognition, we are always doing improvements here as well. I see, especially in Germany, there is not a huge market for that, but we have it on here. And I know, for example, that one of my Swiss customers is using it as an access control system or an additional level for the access control system. Then also face pixelation or facial blurring, object shading are AI products that we have based on GDPR conformity. So we have it in place right now, so as an overlay for our solution. And then we have this object recognition. That means we are recognizing all the objects which are trained in the live video by the attributes, vehicle classes, colors, heads, backs, etc., the faces, the structure of the people, and we are putting them into a database so that at the end you can have an, let's say, forensic search based on the database and not based on the recordings, which is much faster, yeah, which is much faster than before. Then we have people search in recording, which was one of the first steps then, and then I will drill into this later now in the next couple of slides. We have VCA technology on board as an integrated solution, long-term integrated solution for perimeter protection. And we have Vaidio as an integrated solution for, let's say, in-deep AI solutions, because they have so many models. They have so many objects that they can recognize and so many rules that let's say by 90% we can fulfill customer requirements with those solutions. And then at the end we have also the support for cameras, because cameras are driving AI inside right now. So we have the proxy support and the on-with support for these cameras as well, that we can receive the information from the camera and can act with those information to raise an alarm or popping up video or whatever we want to do with that. So this is the portfolio that we have. So what will be the future in that? So we are concentrating on this as well in the next versions. So bringing everything to one dashboard, so that you can work then on one single dashboard with all these opportunities or all the tools that we have inside our software or beside our software with our partners together. Let's drill down a little bit into the VCA technology first. So this is the simplest part for me. We are working with VCA technology for a long time together. And as I said in the beginning, it was nothing more than identifying objects that are moving and how big they are and what they are doing. Today, it's much more sophisticated. So I put here some bubbles here, the red bubbles for deep learning stuff. These are the models that we are using very often right now for a skeleton tracker. This does mean that the system is trying to lay a virtual skeleton over the of a human being, and is trying to identify then that it is a human being based on the skeleton. And then you can do some stuff here like people counting, some other tracking methods, etc. And the good thing is also, if you want to develop something on that, maybe that's somebody is kneeling down in that case. Yeah, so to understand this, you use the skeleton tracker for this. Then we have the deep learning people tracker here. So he is really trained on people, on person, with very good accuracy, and we use this also very often to have a less false positives than ever before. And then the deep learning object tracker is different between people, motorcycles, bicycles, trucks, I think, cars and vans. And then we have also the color detection in that way. So in that case, VCA technology portfolio is really dedicated to make either a simple solution for people counting, like we have done this here in Germany in a shopping mall, or for the perimeter protection, understanding that somebody is climbing over the fence and that somebody is entering an area that he's not allowed to, doing, for example, also tailgating at entrances, etc., tracking objects, tracking the speed, the direction, etc., dwell time analysis for cars, for example, how long they are staying there. So if they are staying for more than 5 minutes, please raise an alarm. And also this fall detection, honestly, yeah, because except of my experience, I think this has a very valuable reason to do a fall detection in some cases. If it comes to, let's say, more complex scenarios, we are moving more and more in using Vaidio. So I have 2 projects right now here in Germany where we are using the Vaidio portfolio to understand a certain behavior or different behaviors in a bunch of cameras. On multiple sites, we are now in the testing phase for that. But you see here, so you have 20 or more pre-built AI engines. You have 3,000 plus trained objects here right now. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it is a cell phone, is it an umbrella, a knife, if it is a hat or whatever. So that gives you more capabilities than ever before. Yeah. And then we have also the applications behind this, either if it is useful for access control, tailgating, if it is a crowd control. Yeah, so we had this request to check if more than X people are in a room, then create an alarm, create a warning or whatever. Yeah, so you can do parking management, you can do city traffic management, traffic counting, etc., etc. Understanding, for example, in a tunnel that a car is is driving into the wrong direction on a motorway or whatever. So in that case, with these tools, we can build up solutions that meets the customer requirements. And the funny thing is, and this is very interesting for me, even if there is an object that is not trained right now, so you can use also a do-it-yourself tool and mark objects in video footage and say, this is, for example, a gas bottle. And then you can create, let's say, your own models and then take Vaidio on board to make a professional model out of this and use it then afterwards. So in that case, we need to understand really that AI does mean not behavior detection. So if you're talking about aggressive behavior detection, it does mean to identify, first of all, the objects and then how the object is moving. Yeah. And this is the important message. We are not detecting if somebody is crying, yeah, or whatever. So it is at the end, the object detection and then setting up the rules, what it is, what the object is doing at the end, or how the object is moved in that way.
Yes, so it's only always a mixture from several things, and that's the reason why you should know what is the reason, why would you like to have AI, what should be the result of your AI scan, and then you just put it into slides. What do you need? You need a person, you need lying on the floor, and then...
Exactly. And this is exactly, the customers are very often seeing, okay, this can be identified, this can be identified. And the first question is always, can you do this? Can you understand this behavior? Can you understand this behavior? And again, I would normally ask, okay, why do you want to do this in what environment? So we have actually, for example, a prospect right now where also the competition is trying to enter or is pushed by the competition, where they want to identify it on a public place in a city, guys who are stealing, for example, the money pockets or whatever. Yeah. So how can you do this honestly?
Yeah, you need to know how they steal it and then hope that they do it that way that it's so well seen. And so normally I think you need more than that, only the seeing how the pocket is open or something like that. You need to know how the behavior is in front of getting closer to the people or something like that. So it's not so easy.
At the end, you need to also to take into account that also hardware, from the hardware point of view, it requires a lot of hardware. So if we are checking, for example, you can see it in our documentation. So if we are talking about, for example, facial recognition or license plate recognition, and you want to do this with a lot of cameras, you need to have an AI server behind this. So with my provider Tarox, for example, we have created right now an server that can be fitted with 3 or more graphic cards inside to increase the number of cameras. Because you cannot run on let's say, an RTX A4000, 50 cameras by doing license plate recognition on a server. So this is too much. Yeah. So in that case, you really need to understand what the customer wants to do, and he needs also to understand that he has to have the server performance or the GPU performance behind this. And this is sometimes really blocking us as well, because we are not talking about simple data. We are talking about a visual or pictures. We are talking about video streams, which needs to be analyzed. And this is a complete different story than to dig into a, let's say, 2-dimensional database and getting out some words. Okay.
Sure.
This is the overview in a very quick story. So we are recording this webinar as well and put it also to our YouTube channel so that you can review it afterwards. But if it was too fast for you right now, or if you have any ideas, or if you didn't have seen something that you are demanding, just contact me. Just contact our colleagues, just contact Thomas or whatever, or whoever, and ask us, because we can support you in that way. With all our partners, we can support you and give you the answers. Yeah, and it's free of charge, so owe me a beer in that way. Let's say.
Yeah,
But
on the other hand, if you use the FNA, so just ask some questions if you would like to have answers immediately. On the other hand, just call up or send a short email.
Yeah. And at the end, also, if you want to criticize this, what I have presented up to now, or what you present, let me know, because I'm learning. And if it's too much, it's not too deep enough for you, just let me know, because we can improve ourselves all the time. Okay, let's run into the demo. Yeah. So you gave me some topics that I need to follow up right now. So the first question was really, can we do facial blurring or privacy blurring? Yes, we can. So what we have designed here is just an overlay on our spotter, on our window spotter, which can be switched on and switched off. That means no recordings are changed in that way. So because it's an overlay, you are recording the real video, and you're getting this overlay of facial recognition. So I have just here one of my colleagues, I think it's Temo, our CTO, coming in the morning into our office. And if I let it run, you see also here that his face is blurred. So, and if I'm stopping this right now, then I can also switch on and off depending on my rights, this object blurring. And if I'm going back right now, you see that he is, you can see his face. Also, this has a certain limitation, because we have tested this as well. If you're coming in and your face is not recognized as a face, or if the distance is too far away, then the system cannot recognize you as a face anymore. And also the number of faces that can be blurred at the same time is limited. But this is the same issue that everybody has. Using a model means also limitations. I have seen very often these solutions where you can count 100 or 200 people. Honestly, I'm in doubt that this is really happening. So maybe this is really a fake, or I don't know. I don't know. You can say I'm wrong in that way, but we have these limitations here. So if I'm going put this into usage again, you see then the face is blurred, and again I have the video with blurred face. So you can also do an export on this with or without. You can put it into the live view only or into the recordings only. So that means live view is without facial blurring, recordings are with facial blurring, everything is possible. So this was the first point that you asked me to show. The second one is, let's say, a real simple thing. And you would say maybe, oh, yeah, we know it already. But for those who are newbies, I want to show this to you as well. And this is our motion search. Motion search. Which camera do we take?
The coffee machine. Best point.
I think we take this. Yeah. Okay. So we have different motion scenarios or motion detection methods here. So you see these three. Comparative is a very simple one. Adaptive is very good if you have different light conditions. Hermeneutic is one for the outdoor environment. So I would like to go to the adaptive here. So I have here right now this kitchen. So I clean this scenario, and then I want to see if somebody is here in this kitchen, for example. So I draw this, and I'm saying, okay, taking an end time, maybe 1 day, and start the recognition. And then the system is searching the videos all the time and giving you the thumbnails when somebody is moving in that area, etc. Yeah. So also a very sophisticated tool really to get the information very quickly out of let's say, a long story.
That's fast, very fast. You're just looking for a whole day, so cool.
Yeah, I stopped it right now, so it would take a little bit longer than this, but normally it's very quick. Then you have asked me also, what can we do with the VCA technology? So, or with the VCA stuff. So, for example, object intrusion and object detection. So, what we have done here so far is, I need to check where I have it right now. Okay, alarm search. We have here set up some alarms that are using, or which are using the VCA. So you see, for example, here, person in kitchen, this is the VCA stuff, and person in, person out is based on the on-with information from the camera. In that case, the camera is detecting that somebody is coming in, is going out, and is giving us this information via the on-with driver. So in that case, also very good example. So let's also take here an end time, for example, and take 1 day. 5,000 counts here. So show all the selected alarms, and then let it run. And so we are checking now the database, and immediately we are getting the information right now here. For example, this person is right now in the kitchen for longer than 5 seconds. So in that case, it is creating an alarm. There is a person which are coming in through the door based on the camera AI. So it is creating an alarm. So yeah, so it is looking like. How is it looking like in the configuration? So we go into our configuration tool for VCA. And you see here, first of all, an area that is not interesting for analytics. So we say, okay, this is a non-analytics area. So we eliminate this. So then the system has to work less than before to analyze the whole picture. And then we have here this green one. This is an area where we want to detect persons. And now then we can create, based on this zone, we can create rules. So first of all, we do the tracking. What does mean tracking? So we're using the deep learning people tracker, so an AI tool here to identify the person and not a deer or whatever. Deer would be funny here in that area, really. And then we are creating the rules. And the rules does mean here, so I'm taking the, no, it's always the case. I have a small landline here, so it's stopping for a while. This is the demo effect. Yeah, it's coming back. So you see right now, we have a dwell time for this kitchen zone, for this zone. The interval for dwelling here is 5 seconds. And then you see also here can trigger an action. And we set this to false because we want to, first of all, either detect a color, the color of red, or we want to detect a person. So we filter the object. Yeah. With a certain confidence threshold. So we can trigger 2 different alarms. We can say, okay, if a person is entering this area and is staying there for 5 seconds, then raise an alarm. Or we can say the second alarm is if a red colored person is entering this area, so red closes, then create an alarm. Yeah. Or we can also say, okay, in that case, we can put it also in that way that don't create an alarm. Remember those persons or the employees of IKEA, they're wearing yellow and blue, a yellow shirt and a blue trousers. So if we want to eliminate them from a certain scenario, so we could do this here as well. So VCA is a very simple, a very, let's say, sophisticated tool where you can create very fast scenarios for anything that you want to do. Perimeter protection, dwell time analysis, people counting together with our Grafana interface to see, okay, how many people have visited this shop over the day, etc., etc. So in that case, very cost effective, very simple to use, and especially with the deep learning scenarios that we have right now in, also very accurate. Yeah, so since we use them, they are very accurate. They need an NVIDIA card because they're running on CUDA. And for example, with an RTX 4000 or RTX 4000 Ada today, you can run there between 60, depending on the models that you're using and the rules, 60 to 80 cameras. Cool. So in that case, a very simple tool to use. What we're going to do together with, for example, our own tools with license plate recognition, also with Vaidio for example, for forensic search is a different story. And here you will require more hardware in the background, more hardware performance, because here we are going into the deep of analysis, of object analysis, object structures, etc., etc. And I would like to show this based on our system right now, because actually we are together with Andy in the position or in the situation that we are setting up a demo system in our pram so that we can show it later on. But this is not done right now. So in that case, I'm using as an option our own system right now. But nevertheless, also quite interesting. So what I have told you before is with our smart recognition, what we are doing is we are analyzing the live picture, if it is coming, or the live video, if it is coming, based on the models that we have created and configured for those cameras in the server. So this could be a license plate recognition, this could be a facial recognition, this could be an object recognition, so object analysis. Yeah, and we put them together in one of these smart search tools here, the plug-in. And now we can search the database for the recordings that we want to see. Yeah. So this could be, for example, a license plate. So if I'm going into this here and saying, okay, I want to have, for example, over the last 2 days or 1 day, the license plates, I could also untick this here, give the license plates and say, I want to see all the license plates that has been done or has been analyzed. I search for this and I'm getting immediately the information, a snapshot, and also the video footage of that. Because I'm searching the metadatabase, not in the recordings anymore. And I'm seeing also the accuracy, I'm seeing which country they are, and especially here, for example, with our list management, I can also put some identities behind this and put them into a list, for example, to open then based on the list the garage, the door of the garage or whatever, or closing it, setting a red light, etc. Yeah. So, and you can export this, you can do whatever you want. You can create also here, let's say a new identity based on this detected car. Or if you want to search for a simple car only, GU, let's say 153. So, and I'm searching for this, then I'm getting only this car. Yeah. The same I can do with faces. So I'm going back to here. So I'm checking my faces. I keep it all, so that's easier for me. So then I said, I want to see, let's say, all the faces that has been recognized. And you see here are the video footage here, fortunately, because I have put it here in the privacy mode with blurred face. Yeah. Yep. So, and then you see also here, he is detecting the faces with a certain kind of accuracy. And then at the end, you, for example, could search also for an identity here. So based off the list management, so we could search for Matti, my colleague. Let's see if he's in the office. Doesn't seem to be. Let's check for Pichla, our searcher. Not found anybody, so it's Friday, so they're off right now, I think.
Still home office.
In the home office, seems to be. Okay.
Yeah.
The funny thing is with object recognition, you can also differ. Yeah. So for example, you can search for people. I'm using here all the cameras which are recognized, which are configured for that. And I'm now searching for example, a person who is wearing a red, who has a red upper body. And you see immediately the information with this guy who is handling something in the kitchen. Yeah, this is Timo or our CTO.
Yeah, fast search.
Yeah, it's a very fast search. If you want to do this on a dedicated camera, let's say in that way, yeah. So for example, on the camera room PTZ, which is looking outside, and you say, okay, I want to see somebody with red color on the upper body, then it is doing this as well.
Wow,
and you see this guy here. Yeah, you see this guy here. Yeah, this is recognized as a human being, and you see also top red, top other. So also here we have these limitations. Honestly, it's depending on the color accuracy of the camera. So in the night you would not recognize red. Yeah, if it is a black and white view. These are the limitations. Yeah. That we need to take into account. But I can also go into this here and say, okay, I want to have all the cameras that I have recognized or that I have configured for that. And I have another attribute. I want to see somebody with a red upper body and a black trousers. Search for him. And then you see here also you're getting bottom black, top red. So you also can mix them together. Yeah, or if somebody is wearing a hat or something on top of the head, yes, or is having a bag or a backpack, you can say, okay, I want to see this as well, and then the system is differentiating between this. The same is with vehicles, for example. If I want to see cars here right now, so I put this away and I say I want to see blue cars on the parking lot. I search for them, and you see here also the blue cars.
Yeah, on the big picture from the PDZ, you see nothing. So it's marvelous that the system can show us the blue car. We wouldn't have seen it. So
yeah, I mean, this view is a little bit weird. So beforehand, we had this on the motorway, and it was very interesting because then we also could identify buses, blue buses, red trucks. Bicyclers. This was very interesting, even in a distance of, let's say, 50 to 60 meters. Yeah, we identified bikers. Yeah, with let's say a red coat, just as an example. And this is so. In that case, the tools are very good. Yeah, and then at the end we have also the similarity search. That means based on this we can search, for example, for a certain face. So maybe we have a snapshot of my colleague here. Take her on board, say, okay, the minimum similarity, maybe a little bit less, and search for her. Yeah, let's say maybe a little bit more footage on that. And then you see, bam, yeah. And then you see also the limitations again. So this is we need to be very honest in this. Here, the system is identified as Pichler, so I'm taking out this privacy mode. Hey, come on. Yeah. And then you see them running. And then here, for example, the accuracy was not good enough. Yeah. So in that case, what you can do right now is you can put this snapshot to her identity, yeah, and use it then in the future as well. So sometimes, for example, especially we as a man, sometimes we are wearing a beard, then we don't, then we are shaved, etc., etc. So in that case, it's very useful then to have this additional pictures inside. So we are not searching for one single picture; we are searching for a couple of pictures that are in the database.
And when I get for the future, and I would like to know if she's in the office, he will take all the pictures I addressed to her for looking if she's there or not.
Right. And now we are coming back to our partners. So as I mentioned before, Vaidio, for example, they have much more objects that they can identify than we do. For us, this is fairly enough because for us as a standard solution, this brings us into the situation that forensic search is very simplified for the customer. Yeah. If we need to do this in a more sophisticated way, for example, in a financial institute, in a banking environment where you want to detect, for example, a gun or somebody is wearing a helmet, yeah, so a biker helmet or whatever, yeah, or a mask. Or if you want to identify in that area people who are laying down and sleeping there, yeah. So, or when you want to identify that in a 24/7 zone, in an ATM zone of an financial branch, you want to identify it if more than 5 people are sitting together there and making a party or whatever. Yeah, then I think we are good with our partners that we have on board because they have those tools and we can add them very simply to our complete solution, including the VMS. And this makes us, let's say, more flexible together with our partners. But why should we invest into this if a partner has it already? Yeah.
On the other hand, you need the training time, and it's perfect if someone else has the pictures, the demos, and can just train the KI.
Of course, train a system on, let's say, 5 videos is not as good as train them on thousands of videos.
Yeah, if you see that there's a knife, what should be a knife? A bigger one, a shorter one, what's a knife? So when you say I would like to see a knife in public situations, then you need a good trained environment. So that's the stuff.
At the end, coming back to the projects that we have right now. So at the end, it is let's say a long way together with the customers and the partners as well to make for especially customized solution, more accurate, because we have this with one customer. So he's marking the false positives where the system has not accurately identified the object or the situation. So he's marking them, he is exporting the videos and delivering this to our partner so that he can retrain the models. And then the accuracy is improving. And this is also the message that I want to give to you. So if somebody has really a demand for certain behaviors which are not standard, and not standard for the whole world, because they are specialized on them, they need to understand that it is a way together, for the future, for today and the future, to support them in getting better accuracy at the end, because the false positives will happen. They are happening here as well, as you see, And to make it more accurate, it requires that the customer is with us and is delivering us also his video footage where we have got these false positives. At the end, I need to say, it might be a little bit weird, but if I'm hearing that, or if somebody's talking to me and saying, I have an AI project, can you help me? I'm very happy to do this, honestly, because this is very interesting. What is happening there? So I saw also from our partners some future models that they have where they combine, for example, also the visual intelligence together with the data intelligence that we have today, so that you can ask a simple question like to do this with ChatGPT today, and the system is analyzing the picture and is delivering you an answer in written form. I think we have a lot of things that will happen in the future, and even if I'm talking about hardware performance, the performance is improving day by day on a daily basis. So if I'm seeing what NVIDIA is doing right now, so bringing the next generation, the next generation. So I put the 4000 adder into my price book, and now it's end of life. So after 1 or 2 years, so it's really weird. So this is also improving. So at the end, I think it will play a big role in our video CCTV environment in the future, because it makes the life easier for everybody. To have at least forensic search, to have an understanding of what is happening. It won't be an intuitive system in the future like a human being is that has a certain feeling that something is happening, but it would be a great help for us in the future, and therefore it is really worth to talk about.
Yep, cool.
Okay, so I'm really done right now. So I talked about everything that I want to talk about. But again, forgive me that it could not go into the deep, that we could not show everything. Then we would sit here for light years, believe me. But I'm really happy to have the conversation with you guys. Either today or in the next days or whenever you have, and to support you together with my partners really on the projects that you have. And then I think this was very clear. We will say also no if it is not possible. And I think this is very fair to everybody, because at the end we would burn money and efforts and waste of time if it is not going to happen.
Yeah, you should be glad afterwards, not seeing only the false positives. You would like to see the real results.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So no questions in the FNQ. So now it's your time just to send short things inside, short questions. Otherwise, you had to come back to us. I think when we'll do our next session, about in 2 months, or if you have questions or if you have ideas for our next meeting, perhaps we do one in between.
I think we had planned one for the next quarter, but maybe we do also one in between and talking a little bit about the AI possibilities that we have together, for example, with Vaidio. That might be of interest.
Yeah, many things are on the way in the moment concerning AI and Vaidio. So yeah, it would be a cool idea. Perfect. We just make something inside. I will send you the presentation link afterwards. And yeah, if there's something in between, just come to us. Just write a short email. Just contact us via, I don't know, LinkedIn or phone, as ever you like to.
Yeah, there's one question. Nathan, hi all. Do you have a video sample of the knife detection, please? We can send you a link for that. Yes.
Yep.
We will do.
Yep. Okay, just notice it. Okay, perfect. Then?
Yeah, if there are no questions anymore, so I thank everybody for participating. I hope it was very interesting for you. It was very fruitful for you. And as I said, prove us, test us. Let us know what was good, what was bad, and what ideas do you have for the next, let's say, webinars. We are really willing to help you in any way.
Yep. So thanks a lot for participating. And yeah, till the next time or the next call.
Right. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you too. Cheers. Bye-bye.